Yeah, yeah. Shanny and Rev. Mm. Now there's a girl in Colorado by the name of Shanny, 37 years young. She ain't no granny, living in sin with Jason. They both are kind of brazen, in and out of trouble with the law and always clout chasing. She sometimes gets slappy when she's with her man, but she keeps him around, cause he's like a pension plan. He's got cash to flash, $84 in his stash, and he'll show it on the toilet in his bathroom full of trash. But Rev has a past. He used to be a drinker, free thinker, till he fell for Shanny hook, line, and sinker. Tried to stop drinking, but he got the wet brain. Insane, gravy train for Shanny off the chain. Shanny thought she'd fix it with a little bit of makeup, working with her man for a temporary hookup, hitting up, drag, and bruise, acting loose while they continued with their substance abuse. Smoking, never ending token. These two were blue in the face, so high they looking broken. Weed was their speed, no one there to intercede, till 420 came and Shanny messed her pants like never seen. Yeah, she crapped him, and after that she's so dumb, she went online and told her fans what she had just become. A lightweight, puking shit and roommate. Poor Rev was stressed to clean the mess like it's a slave state. Fast forward to 2019. A new scene. They go to see a movie on the big screen. Take the kids and it's all good. At least it should, it would. But Rev attacked her womanhood and then BAM! Shanny got slappy. You see, she wasn't happy. Took the family home, then got crafty. She beat up Rev with a cattail. Called the cops but no sale. She's going to jail. Shanny and Rev. Yeah, Shanny and Rev. Cha. It's a Vidya situation. We get to 2020, Shanny's weight's the thing. The box spring goes zing, the bed is broken like a plaything. Yeah, she's fat, but it's not about that. Shanny's attitude's the issue, treating people like a doormat. Lying, crying, prying, spying, just denying her behavior everybody sees as horrifying. She builds allies that empathize and compromise, so she is free to polarize, revise, overemphasize her bullshit. She really is a halfwit. This hypocrite who broadcasts from her bed, throwing spit until she loses it. And then in disgrace, they're moving to a new place. They pack up their stuff and hit the road down to a safe space. Colorado. The land of snow, but we all know the problems flow wherever they go. A new apartment, fresh compartment, police department, not aware of their dark art yet. But there's trouble ahead, a sense of dread, a few short months, and Rev has got him in a hotbed. Driving crazy, lazy, hazy, the way he hit a car and left the scene like something in Scorsese. The cops show up, Shanny's not amused, cops get abused, they're bruised, the big girl is accused. Multiple charges, situation enlarges, Shanny's hate for all her trolls, it just recharges. Rev hit the backside of the soccer mom's Ford. Charges won't go away, they're like a mortal sword. When you hit another car with a child aboard, the cops will send you off to jail, it won't be ignored. So Rev is on track to go back to jail. No bail, he'll be leaving the whale. January 5th is a date, it's great. Rev has to wait, clean slate isn't in his fate. Finally paying for the damage you've done, son. You can't avoid the schadenfreude, we're all living the fun, son. Your God won't save you. As usual, he's absent from the scene. So what's next? Effects will be complex. Shanny stuck in bed without Rev, she's wrecked. Stay tuned for the finish. The drama won't diminish, it always will replenish. Shanny and Rev. Shanny and Rev. Yeah. Peace and Maranatha, bitch. Shanny and Rev. What a way to start, right? Hello, everybody. Welcome. Decided to do a stream tonight after hearing Rev and Shanny on G-Man's channel and a certain claim that was made by Mr. Revelation News about his actions in the past. But we'll get to that. I always like to start with a little rap to set the mood. Shanny and Rev. Now, I will admit freely that I missed the prediction on Rev going to jail, so sue me for that. But the rest of it is pretty darn accurate. If folks want to come in, I'll post a link there in the live chat. Feel free to come in and we'll talk about what happened tonight. First off, let's go right to the claim that Mr. Revelation News decided to make tonight. We'll do a quick screen share here. This is from the G-Man watch party that Black Guy TV did earlier. Just want to show y'all what Revelation News said about himself.
What?
No one's doxed anyone.
No, there's another thing they're saying now constantly, G-Man, that we dox people. I've never doxed a person in my life, dude.
I love Billy's reaction to that. I've never doxed a person in my life, dude, is the claim that we're going to be discussing tonight. Let's one more time, just to make sure I heard him right. Let's go back about 10 seconds here. Make sure I heard that right.
Did he just say English?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I can't forgive you because your mother and your father used to own slaves, and your grandparents used to own slaves.
Yeah, I went back too far, but
I bet you she's not doing that. They're doing that with you guys because they're trying to make money when they're clout chasing. And
We're not saying anything about people's grandparents owning slaves.
We're clout chasing.
Is that what
let's go up a little bit.
Clout chasing
make money when you're
in the same room.
It's never gonna happen.
What?
No one's doxed anyone.
Here we go.
No, there's another thing they're saying now constantly, G-Man, that we dox people. I've never doxed a person in my life, dude.
I did hear him right.
You're a fucking liar. You dox secular opinion.
I did hear him right. I've never doxed a person in my life, dude. Okay, just want to make sure I got that right. So let's kill that. I've never doxed a person in my life, dude. Well, let's talk about that. Let's see. Here's an example. Let's see. This is on my channel. I was restreaming a G-Man stream with some commentary, and let's just have a look at what G-Man, what Revelation News does on this stream.
Right. They were never forced. They weren't forced unless they were, they were never forced.
Well, they could either be a slave for...
Now, notice that in the middle, I did take the care to block what Revelation News posted here, but it says, fuck your docs, Rev. And if we go on a little farther, you'll see why it says that.
Forever. They could either be a slave forever, or they could become a...
Now, the audio is not really important here, but I don't know if you can see the screen very well. I'll blow it up here. At Diecast Racing with Vaughn, what blank blank did to you with bringing all your family on is disgusting. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So the blank, and I didn't want to, redox this person for what that's worth, but let's just put it out there that Revelation News put somebody's real name that they were talking about in the chat and said it's such a shame what he did to you people. And this is the date, September 22nd. I think this was fairly recent after the G-Man stream, maybe the next day or the day after that. So it's back in late September of 2020. Here's an example of Rev doxing someone. So bingo, already got a liar. That was easy. And it's not just that one time. Let's look at another case here of, Revelation News never doxing anyone in his life, dude. Let's see. This is a stream entitled Shanny and Rev Don't Dox People. Let's see. This, I think, is on Burnt Toast channel. Let's see what this has to say. Give you some volume here. Oh, look at me. I'm Dragnet. I'm a fat fucking loser on the internet that makes fun of fucking mentally ill people and then laugh when they have a suicide attempt and they're in the hospital. Oh, I'm so funny. My content is so fucking lame. I'm such a fat fucking disgusting loser. Oh, my name's Al Mims. I don't know what you guys would call that, but considering we all know who he was talking about at the beginning of the video, that seems like a dox to me. I don't know. I mean, Dragnet doesn't care if people knows his real name, but doxing isn't about if the person cares, right? It's about the activity. It's about the action itself. So there's 3 examples right there off the top of never doxing anyone in his life, dude. Now, I invited Rev to come to this chat. I gave him the link, asked him if he wanted to come. I will post the StreamYard again just in case he's in here lurking. I don't know if he is or not, but Rev, if you'd like to come in and defend yourself against, 3 examples real quick like that of you actually doxing people, Oh, sorry, that was just 2. Let's look at another one here, shall we? That was just 2. I got more. Let's see. Stop that one and let's share this other one. This is my response to Shanny and Rev doxing. This is the one that was on the Burnt Toast channel. Let's see what this says.
This is why these people need to be taken off of YouTube, because they harass people. You're going to have to take off your channel, because you're probably going to get a cease and desist, because I'm going to talk to my lawyer about this.
Now, you can see above there, he's talking about Irate Alex. He's got Irate Alex's channel up there. Let's see what he has to say.
And that's a promise. I am talking to him about your channel, because this is harassment. And you're probably going to get a cease and desist, because you're going to get sued. Do you get that?
Do you get that?
Because I have a lawyer on retainer. He's going to get all your docs.
He's going to get all your docs.
So,
Now, that's not Rev doxing anyone, but we had 2 examples of that already. He's going to get all your docs. He's going to retain a lawyer who's going to find out who you are and sue you. But hey, he's never doxed anyone in his life, dude. Keep that in mind. Now, I thought I had a 4th one, as if, 2 legitimate doxes weren't enough and a 3rd threat to dox somebody. But let's take a look at, oh goodness, sorry about that. Let's take a look at something else I found. I had heard there's a person called Agent of Doubt in our community, that there's a video of Rev and Shanny when they first got together in Boulder, walking around with this fella, Agent of Doubt, who some of us knew from the community. And somebody had reported that he actually said Agent of Doubt's full name in the video. Now, I might just have part 2, but I couldn't find it. But I did find something else very interesting in this video. So let's see what that is. See if I can figure out a way to share this one. Yeah, we'll just because it's not on a Chrome tab, it's on a video. It's in my Shanny Tuba bits. Here we go. And I need to figure out, it's at 10:02.
we're going to some creek. I don't know. Well, now you guys are. I don't think so. Coughlin or 3 books here. I think I'm.
Now, again, I couldn't find the actual docs that I heard reported on this, but take a listen to how Rev acts in public.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
But
about 10
off,
seconds
folks.
here.
That's mine. Know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
That's mine.
Yeah, the card right there.
Got fine gentlemen tossing the football. What's up, dude? Donald Trump's not a racist.
Okay.
So that's that. This is a cool place, dude. The Millennium Hotel.
Here it comes.
Yeah, nigga.
Did I hear what I think I just heard? Maybe not. I should replay that. Go back a few seconds.
My football. What's up, dude? Donald Trump's not a racist. So that's that. This is a cool place, dude. The Millennium Hotel.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah, I think that's what I did hear.
My man.
Oh, my man. Very interesting. Ah, Mrs. Parker is here. Hello, Mrs. Parker. How are you tonight?
How are you doing, Mr. Todd? How are you doing?
I'm great. I heard that claim by Revelation News, and I just had to jump on that. I mean, it's so.
I'm happy you
so
did.
clear.
You
Yeah.
have so much more patience than I do.
I do try, and thank you.
Yes, you are a scholar and a gentleman, sir.
Well, thank you. Same to you. So you encountered those guys today in a live stream. How was that?
It was frustrating. I mean, but at the end of the day, I kind of went into it like customer service mind. The customer's always right.
Yep.
I'm just going to tell them what they want to hear. I got to stay on here as long as I can. But I think my favorite part is getting Rev to admit that Drag and his brothers did not sexually assault her, which proves the point that I was making. You don't get to make false claims.
Yeah, I think
that's the whole thing.
Absolutely.
You know?
We've all been talking about that and how it invalidates other victims, and it's just hurtful to anybody that's suffered that sort of thing, and for her to use that and make false accusations, because that's clearly one of the
can
worst
ruin
things you can
someone's
do.
life.
Absolutely, and you
You know?
invalidate other people that have had that happen to them. So, yeah, good on you for getting that little tidbit out.
Yay. Other than that, they just kind of screamed and hollered. She did the same thing. What kills me is earlier today, she was talking about how much pain she was in. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Her hip, it was just all this pain. She couldn't take it anymore. And during that entire time, not only was she belligerent, but she was all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fairly typical of Shani. And
I didn't see pain.
No.
Yeah.
We see complaining.
I was
I'm not
unimpressed.
sure about it.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
good on
impressed
you
with
and great job.
Rev. No, I was really,
Yeah,
I was honestly impressed with Rev because I think he kept trying, but he got bullied. Not only was G-Man bullying him, but Shani's bullying him too. And every time I tried to directly talk to him, they shut it down every time. So
Yeah, I think you said something about you have hope for Rev. Maybe Rev is redeemable. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But I think Rev has those same kind of cycles. He'll be nice and he'll be genuine and he'll be conciliatory. And then the next thing you know, boy, just screaming at the camera. I did invite him. I emailed him about an hour ago and gave him the link. So, Rev, if you are watching,
I would love to talk to Rev. I think Rev would have good conversation. At least he admits that he's wrong. And that's a big step. That's something that neither one of the other two can do. And I think that's what makes it a little different.
Yes, indeed. I haven't dealt with those two for as long as a lot of people in this community have, but that's exactly what I've seen. He will actually sit and talk about things. Themes. I'm sorry. He'll sit and talk about themes.
Talk about themes. Yeah.
I
lost my temper. I had to put some whiskey in my tea. It was just like, and then she said she gave reparations. Did you catch that? She's like, yeah, I've paid my due. I gave reparations. Giving G-Man a house is not reparations.
Yeah, I don't see it.
If that's not the most condescending racial statement, like it just kept coming and coming, like
Yeah, it's right up there. And then after they yeeted you, I think Rev said something about it. I don't know how one of your people can justify slavery.
Your people justify atheism, and I'm like, what?
My goodness. Oh, Rev's attorney has made it. Maybe Rev's attorney would like to speak.
Oh, beautiful.
Hi, Rev. We'll just unmute
That is
you
a
there.
beautiful skirt. I love the story behind that guy. So
can't unmute your guests because they chose to mute themselves.
Yeah,
well,
I just want to forewarn both participants in the stream that you have been given a verbal cease and desist. My client would like it very much if you could keep his name out of your mouth, or else we will go forward with criminal charges. And it is a felony to disregard what I'm saying right here.
All right, and I just want to make it clear who are your clients? Who are you representing? Just to make it clear.
Note.
I don't want to say the name, but you know him as the Reverend Dude Individual.
Fantastic.
So that's the only one you represent. So I can still talk about Shani and G-Man. Okay.
Yeah, I don't represent those two.
Okay, totally fine. All right, totally fine. Totally fine. Got it. I'll try to stay within those parameters.
So if I happen to show Revelation News Dude 2077,
you can speak about it, just not in a disparaging manner or any way that would make his that would hurt his feelings. Because if you hurt his feelings, he's going to set me loose. I won't be responsible for my actions inside the courtroom. Okay. Money will be spent. Yes. Tears will be shed.
Totally respect that. I think the dude Reverend is an amazing person. I love his characters. I love when he cooks. I think he's an amazing chef.
Yeah, fantastic. So
because you're going to get sued. Do you get that? Because I have a lawyer on retainer.
There you go, right there.
Going to get all your docs.
So it's good.
So are you accumulating doxes as we speak, or?
I'm not allowed to disclose what court papers, what filings that my investigators are handling right now. But I will say this: I have several investigators on the prowl. They're back tracing IPs. That's right. They're back tracing them.
About doing that, I mean,
well, it's very complicated, and it's an industry secret. If I let the cat out of the bag, everyone would do it. So I got to kind of, you know what I mean? I got to kind of, hide my cards here. But he is absolutely in the process of serving everyone papers. You will get a hard copy of your cease and desist.
Good. I did make a note.
Cease and desist, a legal document.
A Butthurt Lawyer is also
Butthurt
Lawyer here. Butthurt Lawyer Esquire is part of our law firm. He is also an expert attorney. I'm not mistaken. He represents Shani. I could be wrong. I don't want to speak for him.
Okay. Just to clarify, is this verbal agreement a written binding agreement? Is this like a legal document?
Due to maritime law, he is a citizen traveling in his land boat. As soon as he speaks it out, it becomes in legal parlance, it becomes in existence. I forget the Latin term. It's been a while since lawyer school.
Understand? Yeah. So is this the famous law firm of Butthurt, Enema, and Hemorrhoid that I've heard so much about?
McButt and Sons.
Butt and Sons. Okay. Yeah,
McButt and Sons.
McButt and Sons.
And Sons. Yeah.
like McDonald's, but it's McButt.
Sort of, right.
Yeah, gotcha. That's fantastic. Okay, good to know. And thank you for the legal notice. I did make a note of the date and time, and the notice has been given. I do appreciate that. Good to have you on.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I really think that Rev is a wonderful individual. I think he's an amazing individual, and I love his hat. And I'm very jelly that he has a lightsaber.
Yes,
it's really cool that he has a lightsaber.
And the Vader masks is cool. The Stormtrooper mask is cool. And I just want to say I appreciate Rev so much for doing more for atheism than I could ever do, because
it's
fantastic the work he's doing. It's really respectable, and you can pass that on. That I appreciate his good work.
Bottom of my
It's just nice to hear you speak, hear you two speaking so upliftingly about the Reverend individual. He is a pillar of his community, and we plan to show that in court. And anyone who would say anything to the contrary will face felonious charges.
Felonious charges, yes,
that's right.
Yes, very serious. Understand?
Shame on anyone who would besmirch his name. Shame on anyone that would
besmirchment will not be tolerated.
Will not be tolerated. Not today. Not the day of my daughter's wedding. Not today.
No. And I'm going to get on the merch site right after the stream and buy myself a baby carrot baby onesie, because
that's ethical.
Nothing says love like putting penis jokes on your toddler. I think, personally.
It's very Christian. It's what Jesus would do.
It's exactly what Jesus would have done. Yes. So thank you for your time, Rev's attorney.
Thank you. Take care. And once again, besmirch my client at your own risk.
Understood. Absolutely. Thank you for the notice. Fantastic. Well, that was a nice visit.
It was very pleasant. It was super, super pleasant. I appreciate the notice. And I'm thinking about sending a return notice, right? So here's my cease and desist. Okay. This is my verbal cease and desist to Reverend, the individual, Shani for Christ. And what's the other one's name? K-Man, B-Man. Well, I think it'll come to me. The one who's all about Dragnot. So all of them, they need to stop saying my name. Okay, this is a verbal cease and desist. If they say my name again, I will get legal representation to take them all down for their racism, their harassment, their sexual harassment. G-Man threatened me with sexual harassment. I will take this to the highest courts of YouTube if they do not leave me alone. That's what this is.
Make sure and get all their docs too, because
I will.
That's what lawyers do. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, I'm glad we had this little chat.
Yeah, countersuit.
Countersuit coming, folks. You heard it here first. Countersuit is coming. Well, Reverend individual, I'm pretty sure you're watching, but again, if you'd like to come in and actually defend yourself,
that'd be great.
That would be welcome. Like I told you in the email, I promise you a fair forum. I'm not going to put you in the backstage. I'm not going to mute you. Anything you want to say, we're here for you. We're here to talk this out. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about you, Mrs. Parker. You're willing to to talk to these folks and
I
actually have a
am, like,
discussion.
I know I blow up and I'm super animated and I get really mad and I rage, but I can have a conversation. Like, if you're willing to sit down and talk, let's do this. And I challenge all of them to have the conversation. I think a lot of times they go into these talks, like G-Man goes in talking to drag as if he has to win a battle.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to feel that way when they talk to me. Like, we can have the conversation. I've asked Negs to talk. Negs has told me that I'm a that I'm a racist and, you know, all of these wonderful things, which I would love to talk about. He wants to talk about the N word. He wants to use the word nigger. He's scared of it. I get it. A lot of people are scared of that word. And it's a conversation that needs to be had. If not now, then when? You say you're all about Black Lives Matter. You say you're all about the cause. Then let's have the talk.
Fantastic.
You know, we don't have to do drama. We can talk about the issue.
I did notice when you were trying to have a talk, particularly with Shani, she kept going on and accusing you of lying. And you said to her, well, what have I lied about? And I never really got an answer. And I think I'd like an answer to that. But
I would love to know what I lied about, because I called you out on your lies. You claimed you made false rape claims. You made false allegations. You blamed the fact that you can't do things on your health, on your trauma, on all these things that have happened to you. I haven't lied. This is what you put out here on the internet for the last 10 years or something. Like, you've been here longer than me. I'm Miss New Booty. I'm literally just catching up to all the stuff you've done. I didn't even know she said the N-word that many times till tonight. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Miss New Booty. I like it.
It's a hood term. Yeah, it's a fun hood term, like for the new girl or whatever. But that's what it is. Like, I'm not, when she keeps saying, oh, all these atheists, I'm not. Why do they always have to have the they, you know, they're attacking us. It's a big group of them. It's a pack of atheists.
Yep. And we're all, like you said tonight, it's not, we don't have any credo. We don't have any dogma. We're just the answer to one thing. You know, we don't all do the same. We don't act the same. We don't think the same. It's time to put that little thing to bed, I think. But
I think it's because it hurts to know that many independent brains don't like you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're all being told to not like you. Like, we're independently just coming to this decision that you're a shitty person.
Yeah. Nothing to do with any religious beliefs at all. Nothing. It's those constant streams, and I got a giggle when she said, I don't talk about my personal life. Oh my goodness, boy, could we do a stream on that? That's all she talks about.
And that's what's so crazy about it. She's mad at me because I'm literally just looking at you and I take pity on you. And she's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Remember that one she did just earlier today? Drag was reviewing it. And she's crying about all the pain she's in. And she doesn't know what she can do. It's not like you live in a first world country. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you live in one of the best countries for medicine. You have access to medicine. You have access to a doctor. If you're in that much pain and you're suffering, who just wallows in their suffering?
People with a victim complex, I suppose. It's the only answer I have. I did, as long as we're doing a stream about folks lying. She was also talking about how she's continued to be in therapy, and she's been in therapy for years. But I seem to remember 3 or 4 months ago her talking about graduating from therapy, the court-ordered thing. So,
that's not.
Don't go together, really.
No, it doesn't. And even court-ordered therapy isn't what you need. You know what I mean? Like, it's a great first step. You know, anybody who's had to go through the whole mental health dance, and it really is like this shuffle. You know, you go from doctor to doctor, diagnosis to diagnosis, this medicine to that one. You're weaning off of one and going on another. You're dealing with the highs and the lows. It's a really hard road. Anybody who's had to go through it, it takes a long time, not only to get the right diagnosis, but to get the right set of medication.
Right. It takes time. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm just like, even if you did get court ordered, honey, you got to continue with it. If you need therapy, some people need therapy for the rest of their life. And I promise you, there's no therapist that just said, you know what, girl, you're fixed. Go on, live your best life. You know,
no, it's not black or white. It's a general slow climb. Therapy graduate is here. Honor roll.
Oh,
hello, therapy graduate. Honor roll. That icon looks an awful lot like Grumpy Lobster. And Jeff has joined us. Hi, Jeff. Otherwise known as...
I've got a lot of certificates for my education through therapy over the years.
Shanny's lawyers made it.
Shanny's lawyer.
All-star cast. Yay.
Midwest Wildlife is having trouble connecting, apparently. How are you doing, Grampy? Good to see you.
I'm doing fine. I love it when Shanny talks about graduating from fucking therapy.
Yes.
Probably, and I've mentioned this before, the only, like, I don't know, if she got a certificate, a lot of times court-ordered therapy, like AA classes or NA classes or anger management classes, a judge will require you for, in your case sometimes, to attend and show proof that you went to anger management or some side of court-ordered therapy or classes. That's probably the closest thing Shanny ever got, She probably had Rev throw her a fucking graduation party, and she probably had a cap and gown, and,
I can assure you my client has her diploma. It is written in something that isn't crayon. I've seen it. I've touched it. I felt it. She's paid her reprobations, her exact quote. She's paid them. She gave a broke black guy a house.
She did. And I'd just like to clarify. So you acknowledge that your client did make this statement, correct?
I mean, what isn't a little casual, just N-word dropping every now and then, like in her own words,
Okay. I just want to know, quote unquote, I contributed to reparations. Is that not what your client said?
She did in fact contribute to reparations.
Okay. Can you define reparations?
It honestly, I don't even know what she fucking says half the time. It's pretty complicated.
I love you too.
She failed. She failed English class. To be honest, I'm not even a lawyer. I'm a DoorDash driver, but they pay me, so.
Fantastic.
Thank you for your service, DoorDash driver,
Yeah.
If Shanny won't tell you, then I will,
Yeah. They were like, hey, do you need a lawyer? And I was like, do you want to be our lawyer? I'm like, yeah, sure. And they tip me extra now, which is great because they used to not tip for shit. So that's revealing.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna go. My client.
Having a child chase you down the street.
Jake is here.
Hi, Kermit. Hey, Jake.
I mean, I gotta grab that child. Like,
what's up?
They just let him run around, and I'm like, I'm just making him do laps. He's exercising.
Things are flying around. David Anthony has made it. Hi, David.
It's interesting. Shanny's
Hello.
here.
Oh, David's looking really handsome this evening with that towel around his waist.
Mrs. Parker is my lawyer.
Yeah, this is the real me. This is the real me inside. I'm
is that Conan?
No, it's not. It's I created this with GIMP. I'm not that much of an artist.
I love it.
A composite of different individuals. Like the body was from a bodybuilder, and I kind of like spliced it with.
I like it.
A regular person, so it's not like super buff.
It's nice.
And then I got the costume from like a catalog that sold loincloths, and I copied and pasted that, put that on GIMP, and shrunk it. And
well, you look nice in a
look like a
loincloth.
Cartoon. Yeah,
it looks like a G-Man's dream boyfriend right there.
This
That's
is
what
the
it looks
real
like.
me inside. Yeah, G-Man wishes he could have me.
Yeah, he's probably praying the gay away right now as we speak. I mean,
I'm gifted, but I'm no dragnet.
Is that what he calls it?
Long,
wax
deep
off
dragnet.
the
Broke nuts. Can
I
want
to.
Never mind. Go ahead, Grampy.
I'm sorry. I got to put this out there. And if Jello Shots is watching, I just want to put out there. Jello's claiming something that's just not true. He says he has a bigger crush on Mrs. Parker than I do. And I'd like to put that out right now that's just not fucking true. And Jello's putting out
lobster.
Yeah, Jello's putting out some false information, folks. I just want to put that out there.
False campaign, smear campaign against Grampy Lobster. Don't believe what Jello says.
Everything's good with Jello.
He heard that in there.
Wow, that is true, especially with hers.
Could I complain about Shanny for
a minute?
Please.
You may not. I'm the lawyer.
Well, I
And the door
just
advocate.
wanted to make sure it was cool with Todd. I don't know if you guys caught Drag Stream earlier about her crying and whining, but it actually gets under my skin when she goes on and on about chronic pain. Those of us who live with chronic pain, it's not really all that entertaining when somebody is complaining that their fibro, is a 22 out of 10 on the pain scale.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst pain I've ever been in, I fainted. I passed out. My body shut down. And I don't wish that for Shani, but sometimes I do, just so she understands what actual chronic pain is and what people deal with on a daily basis. It pisses me off because, it took me almost 2 years to learn how to walk normally after my spinal surgery. So, and I've never once blubbered like that, especially on stream. And it just, the attention-seeking nonsense when you're dealing with people who actually have these ailments is just so tiring. And I apologize. I wanted to say that.
Well,
it totally
it's the same thing when it comes to like mental illness and suicidal ideations, or like when she's talking about, like Rev was, like when she totally really went to the fucking hospital and really this time, that shits on people that like with the chronic pain. I mean, I'm not trying to compare because they're but it takes away from people that it's lying to people that actually believe that shit that's coming out of her mouth, because because there's people that go, oh my God, look at Shani, she's so depressed, she wants to commit suicide, these people are bothering her. I mean, her, like, what she even claims that she did in her therapy, where her therapist told her to, just, be yourself, and which a lot of it is like half truths. They tell you to, like, be yourself and you
have to live your truth. She probably
Yeah.
heard her therapist say, you need to live your truth, and then she went home and did the exaggeration.
And fuck everybody
goodness,
else.
Hermit.
Hey, wow. Jeff, hey, how you doing, man?
Hello, all non-white people. And I tell you what, before tonight, I have to admit, I never knew that the N-word was really bad until Rev told me about that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm so proud of you.
Progress is being made.
I live in South Mississippi, and I never knew that for 1 minute that word was offensive to anybody. Just wanted to.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Greg. Dog. I'd have to agree with you. Like I never learned that until just tonight.
Thank goodness for Shani and Rev.
When I was a 6-year-old boy.
The fucking audacity of that
and
shit.
I called a black kid the N-word because I thought it was okay.
Well, yeah, I did that just the other day.
It ended me getting into a fight.
Yeah, I did that just the other day. I called somebody the N-word. I said, "Hey, what's up, N-word?" And 15 people kicked my ass. I said, "Hey, I thought it was just a word."
The same way, I love the way Dre says it. He goes, "Yeah, you have the freedom of speech. You do. You have the freedom to say whatever you want, but that does not give you the freedom of consequence. And you cannot sit here and pretend in 2021 you did not know that calling someone a nigger was a bad thing. You're not going to look me in my face and tell me
Mrs.
that.
Parker, and with all due respect, I blacked out at that time.
Well, then, of course, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better be talking about whiteout, man.
Yeah, I whited out.
You African American out and just no, it's just nigga. I get
it. With your friends at a restaurant.
That's what I do when I drink a fifth of whiskey. I just say the N-word all the time.
Asshole out of the blue because you have Tourette's.
Yeah, but
it's like racist Tourette's. That's what it is. She's pretty much telling me that you have racist Tourette's. Just out of nowhere, you're just.
Mrs. Parker, I'd like to thank you for restarting racism again, by the way. Because it was all done and over with until you, the other night.
It was done.
It was all done. There was no racism in South Mississippi until Mrs. Parker started it yesterday.
This woman is so stupid. She doesn't know that when a black person calls you the N-word, it's usually a compliment.
Usually, it really depends. Like if I'm talking to you, my best friend happens to be Caucasian. Okay, she happens to be, She happens to be. Now, when I get drunk and I'm talking to her and we're having a conversation, I'll be like, girl, this nigga here. I might say bitch to her. And every once in a while, I just might call her, hey, my nigga. Yes, every once in a while. And I love her with all of my heart. And you know what? I don't really care if anybody likes that. It happens. I'm drunk and I say it. Just like I know racist white people get drunk and say nigga too when they listening to their favorite DMX album. So this is what happens in the comfort of our homes.
I can't even say NWA. You know, I feel bad about saying NWA.
All I'm saying is I don't care what you say in your house. I don't care what you say to your friends. What I care about is what you choose to put out here in the public for public consumption. If you're going to sit here and stand behind it, then that's, of course, he doesn't deserve my rage. He doesn't deserve that many calories of mine. I'm not about to sit here and fight with your dumb ass. That's like going into a class and me being mad at kids.
Shanny and them, they want to say it, and it's not they want to say it because they want to disrespect somebody. It's out of hate, it's out of control, and everybody knows it, and they would spin. The whole thing.
You made me say it.
Yeah, you made me say it, Mrs. Parker.
I'm starting a race war. And the best part is now they've all quit the internet. I feel so triumphant. I called Shanny a nigger and she quit the internet. Are you fucking kidding me?
We should all remember, she only said it the one.
Black people what not to say because they're not racist.
What was that bullshit? She said, "I'm Irish, therefore whatever." I mean, like, what
because her ancestors specifically couldn't afford slaves because they were poor. They had nothing to do with it, and they gave G-Man a house, so they contributed to reparations. So they're in the clear. You can't call them racist. Plus, they have a black friend.
Well, that's always an ace in the card right there, right? Because I think, speaking for a white guy here, it's always nice to have that black friend that you can, because
you gotta have a black friend every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a black, I
have a really bad joke I want to tell. So this is between me and my friend, right? She lives out in the country. And we go out for hikes sometimes. And she's like, why do you always like going outside? And why do I got to go with you? Because she hates being outside. But I won't go outside by myself. She says, why? And I tell her, well, if we get lost, I know for a fact they'll come looking for your white ass. So we always going to go out here on a hike together because they always look for the pretty blonde lady who's missing. Right. So, I just stay close to her.
Always drive with a white guy, a white friend, because the police will be nicer to you. Always drive with a white guy.
They'll have that girl's name, her description, and everything she likes in the world, her favorite things in the bulletin to look out. And then at the bottom it says, also missing a black girl.
By the way, a black girl missing.
Accompanied by an anonymous black person.
Exactly. We legally have to say this.
I have one for Grampy. I've been dying to ask you this ever since it came up tonight. Apparently, G-Man knows of a secret KKK member in our little group here, and your name was brought up. So I wondered if you had any comment on that.
Oh, I'm in the Ku Klux Klan now too.
It's possible.
Well, I know that Father Judgment is a. Let me see if I got this right. He's the assistant to the assistant manager of the janitorial division of the local KKK at the strip mall. Okay, now I know, and that does give me some connections. And I also heard that Secular Opinion has a branch of the Ku Klux Klan out in Canada for all our Canadian friends.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I mean, I'm not aware. Maybe I don't know. I haven't checked my mail today. I might have got.
I thought it was. I thought it was that white guy Drag.
He goes that Grandpa Lobster. It's like.
I'm tempted to go on that man's live stream one time and just agree with every dumb shit thing he ever says.
No. You can only do it for so long before you rage. Your body just starts to sweat.
Look at that.
I think I made it like 45 minutes with Parker.
That's about as long as most people. I don't know how Lubis and Todd do it. No, I know how Todd does it. Todd's a teacher. Todd has had to sit in a room full of 30 badass, ignorant, don't want to listen, badass kids who ain't got no motherfucking home training, and all he can do is just sit there and be like, "Okay, class, Let's try this again. Okay, he has the patience of a fucking.
Try not to be a
saint, and I
dipshit
love
this
him.
time.
Exactly. I love
To be
teachers,
fair,
and I love
I was a college professor, and those people are
That's a
paying
little
to be
better.
there. So you know,
Yeah.
if they want to waste their money, it's fine with
Yeah,
me.
this is why you're wasting your money in college for me to give you an F. You know, far be it from me. I get paid either way, you know?
Yeah.
Why go to college when I can learn it on YouTube?
Oh,
That's
YouTube University.
that's the thing
G-Man.
that is always that has always
I saw a
baffled me.
video.
Yeah, or you know, when you got people that like Dragnot, I don't understand enough of what he does to actually like some kind of bio, you know, then yeast and but but people that like do things for a living, they're studying, it's part of what they do. Scientists say, Mel, all these people that and other people that like literally do this shit for a living. They went to college for years. They have degrees. They do this shit for a living, and then you got some dipshit like G-Man, you know, that says, you know, like, well, it's all a lie, you know, or
G-Man,
just because I'm
G-Man
smarter than.
G-Man hates the fact that I say Dragnot has more education than I do. He can't stand that.
Yeah,
and I don't understand why.
It's because he doesn't want to give Drag any credit. The
No, I
fact that
know.
Drag has actually accomplished stuff in his life and he doesn't have time irritates the fuck out of him.
Dragnot's not sitting in the armpit of the shithole of society known as New Jersey. There's good people in New Jersey. There's good people everywhere. But Dragnot he's accomplished things. He's went to school. He's done something with his life. And G-Man, he sits in shit and yells at goddamn people in the street. And so
Absolutely.
it's bad for me to admit that.
Well, that's
somebody
what a
else has
man
more
does.
education than I do.
That's what a
man
does.
When does he have time to work?
Fucking idiot he is.
Well,
He's a
see,
goddamn idiot.
The thing with G-Man and Rev, like when they call like somebody like Dragnut like broke nut, they are, you know, they think that a job which Rev's never had, so I don't know why he's even like going there.
He's a capitalist, though.
Yeah, but it's like they think as a job, they think of a place like making money, like literally getting up in the morning, going to a job, being there for 9 hours or 8 hours or whatever, and then coming home and then doing it again at a physical place. People make money all the time in different supplemental income, like the college thing, I think Drag's on chapter 31. I was on that for a while when I was going, when the Army was sent, or the VA was sending me to college. It's not the most money in the world, but it fucking helps out and you're not broke, you know? And it's other ways, you know, and they think that you have to, like, when G-Man talks about, oh, McDonald's is hiring. Well, why does a G-Man go to McDonald's?
Right?
Yeah.
But he's
You know
a
what I mean?
professional barrel
Speaking of
stacker.
G-Man, Speaking of G-Man, I don't know if everybody saw this 1 minute video, but I like to play it for everyone because
that's the most
interesting.
desperate sounding title
No more
ever.
Hello, everybody, and
or
welcome
black
to
guy.
GTV. I have made a decision, and my decision is this: I am no longer going to be making YouTube.
Looks like a
videos
hostage
about,
video.
Dragnet service.
I know, it does, doesn't it?
Straight up.
Goddamn ISIS video.
The reason why I've made this decision
He's
is
blinking.
primarily
He's
because
blinking Morse
I believe
code.
that,
When was this
I
posted?
try to
help
reach
me.
these people.
Not
and
too long
they
ago.
don't listen.
Please come help
Very
me.
like recent.
People have,
Yep, this was tonight.
repeatedly,
Yeah, let's
in
give that
response,
24 hours.
harassed
and he'll
me
go back
and,
on
and
this.
have slandered me and have said things about me that are not true. So
What about the shit that he says?
I'm going to be making YouTube.
I mean,
videos
we're worse than
about
pedophilia.
Dragnet
Kitty diddlers. Most of
I'm
us are
asking
supposed
you
to be
guys,
kitty diddlers.
Please
We're a ring of
leave
kitty
me
diddlers.
alone. I'm sick and tired of you guys making stuff up about me, lying about me,
Making
saying
stuff
things that
up.
is not true.
Like he don't.
Please, I'm asking you. I'm
Oh my
begging
god,
you.
I gotta record
Please
this.
leave me alone.
I've already recorded it.
Please leave me alone.
Please leave me alone.
Like he has
He's gonna
any
make-
authority, like he has any authority over anybody. That I have decided that
He's gonna
I.
say, leave
Authority
me
is not on your
alone.
side. It's
That's how
So
he
I
is as
will,
a Christian.
Fuck off.
He
I'm not making videos about you anymore. Doesn't matter that I called you worse than a pedophile, that you were worse than Matt Bell, that you're gonna die. You're horrible people. doxed. I don't know how many people in this room have been doxed by G-Man. I haven't, but there are people out there that have.
Well, I can tell you whose idea this all is. This
Shanny.
No. Shanny. It's not Shanny.
Don't tell me it's Rev.
No. It's somebody. It's somebody
I
who's
don't
known
think so.
for doxing. It's somebody who
that Niggs guy.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't.
I think
certain names.
I think
that's my
that
guess.
weird dude. I think that weird dude might be their lawyer.
Who?
I think that's what's. Yeah, I don't want to say his name because
lawyer's going to give advice like that.
Exactly.
I'm agreeing with Mrs. Parker here. I think that's where it came from.
I think
they're all making a YouTube videos of verbal agreement. Are you freaking kidding me?
But see,
everybody on the internet would have to agree to it.
But see,
everybody.
He got one. He got a legal cease and desist. So I think his answer to that is we're gonna say this. So when they pick on us, we can go, "Oh no, look at us, the victims." Because that certain YouTuber, that's his whole life, is the victim complex.
Anybody can criticize anybody on the internet. And it kills me because Shanny's the worst about it. She puts her whole life on the internet and complains when they say, well, this is what Shanny put on the internet. Isn't it fucking stupid?
Well, she claims that she doesn't put her personal life on the internet, nor does she talk about it. So,
no, well, of course not.
Very rarely. Very rarely.
But Miss Parker, I'm with you about who this
right
is all
now.
coming
We're
from.
cyber stalking Shanny.
It's gotta be.
Even though we're nowhere near this woman.
There is not enough amount of Crown Royal in South Mississippi to make me stalk Shanny.
Well, the over/under is set, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, at least somebody
video.
admitted that Shanny wasn't being sexually harassed. You know,
Rev did.
I'm happy that Rev was honest about that because at the end of the day, that shit was fucking stupid. You guys know you lied. Own up to it and be honest. Stop with accusing people of crimes that they never could commit. You know, just get the fuck out of here.
That is slander. That is slander.
The thing is, in the end, Shanny didn't get the response that she thought she was hoping for. It went totally in a different direction. I think honestly, because Shanny, like you've seen before, Shanny thinks every man wants to have sex with her. Shanny thinks that she's a very desirable person. She does.
Oh, we have a
development. And when she did that nasty time, dirty, whatever the fuck that shit was with Rev, and she didn't get the response that she was looking for, I think that pretty much.
Hey, everybody, Todd
got a response from Rev there. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Thanks, Todd, but no thanks. So, and you can see my message below. Cordially invited. Promised him a fair forum, but thanks, but no thanks. So there you have it.
Those
he
guys
like that
never
word
do that.
evidence. He don't like
Well,
that
at least the RSVP.
Those guys never do that because they can't control the narrative. That's
mighty wide of him.
That's G-Man's tactic. He'll have you on his stream because he can mute you, he can kick you off, he can do what he likes. He won't come. Well, he might come on streams with a couple people.
Oh, he's a pussy on somebody else's.
Well, he can't. He's
really
come on
is.
Todd's streams before, but the thing is, when somebody's trying to address him, he ignores it. He sits in the background acting like a child. But when he has something to say, everybody better shut up and listen to him.
You didn't like it when this fellow here, Midwest Grow Guy, weren't you on his live stream not too long ago, and you looked off to the side and he about had a fit over it, just because you looked over at the wall or something.
Yeah, Midwest Grow Guy.
He does that constantly. He's like he wants
your
people
attention.
to see that he is not interested in anything you have to say.
I have a video from the Geek Room that I'd like to share real quick. It's short. I think you'll all enjoy this. It's a quick message to
all right. What's all
G-Man and Shanny. Here we go.
That doesn't mean it's harassing. You can say, I think this person's an idiot. That's not harassing. You can give your opinion on what people are posting on Twitter saying, you're saying this, but you also said this. Those don't match. That's not harassing. So.
And there you have it. Yeah, it's pretty concise. It's not harassing.
No, I'm commenting on the dumb things that you say. You're saying stupid things, and we just happen to be pointing them out and saying, ha, 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 ha. You're
Obviously,
fucking stupid.
that's propaganda put out by the prosecution.
Jimmy, Shanny, and Rev can say whatever they want about everybody else on the internet around the world, and that's fine. If anybody criticizes them, they're the goddamn victim. And the whole last video was them. They were the victim. Started out as the N-word is bad. They stopped that. They deflected it and said, "Look, we're the goddamn victim." Fucking amazing.
Yep. Crazy Renee. Whose mic is low? Is it mine?
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Jeff's a little low. Okay.
I'm white. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's like accusing an American Indian of being a thief if they get some of their land back.
Oh no. Pretty much. She fucking called me a racist. She's like, I'm a racist. She called a black woman a racist for calling a white woman a nigger. And I was like, that might be the most poetic thing I've ever heard in my life. When this very same white woman said that the word you could use in love.
Yeah.
Did you see
I said the N-word because I love you.
Because I love
I beat my wife because I love her.
Yeah, how does that work? It's like, I love you niggers.
What kind of Mel Gibson love is this?
What is this? I
and everything and whatnot.
It's Mel Gibson love. That's what it is. That's what we'll call
it. That's like
just find it. Oh, go ahead.
I gotta go black out and beat my ex-girlfriend, by the way.
No,
that's like Sandy and Kid. Like, I love you, bitch.
Exactly.
I know people that talk like that, though. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not going to do it in public on a live stream.
No, they do it at home. You know, like
exactly.
I got a friend that he sees his wife coming outside or something. He'll go, "I love you, bitch." You know what I mean? But that's their personality. It's trust me, it's New England, Jeff. It's met with affection. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with like I said, I know people. I was giving a friend of mine a ride to the store one day, and this guy we had the windows down, and this guy comes running up to my car, right, screaming and hollering like, "You mother," or some shit. He's yelling at my buddy, right? They're best friends since fucking elementary school type shit. They've known each other their whole life. I'm thinking this guy's fixing to like attack me in my car. I don't know. It's a joke between these two, right? And he's like, "Hey, well, fuck you," like this. And I'm like, Jesus, I wish the light would turn. I mean, people are like that. You would have thought my grandparents hated each other's guts. I mean, the way they talk to each other. But I just think it's funny. It's it's really sad. I want to apologize for white people sometimes when I see a bunch of white people talking about how and when or whatever about the N-word or something. When personally myself, I mean, I don't use it. I have in my past. I mean, I'm an old guy. I mean, I remember when it wasn't really that bad, type stuff. Times change, but I've also learned over the years, and some of these like Shanny and Rev, like, "Oh, we're gonna take back the word. We're gonna make it mean something different." No, you're not. You're just making yourself look stupid.
Yeah, they did.
You can't change the definition.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, I don't care if Mrs. Parker says it or Dries or I don't care if anybody says it. But if you say it, shit's gonna happen. We live in that age where there's certain things that you can't say anymore. There's certain things you can't do anymore. It's not acceptable.
Yes, but there's
and
also
whether you like
where reality hits in too. I think that you can't whitewash history either.
No,
right?
no, yeah,
like
right.
When they took that word out of Tom Sawyer, I think that's whitewashing history. Don't you whitewash it? Don't you take the name out? You leave it right there so that all the kids in the future get to see this is what they did, this is what they called us, this is how they treated us. Don't whitewash it. I think it should be taught for what it is. At the same time, if you're a white person and you have to ask yourself, should I call my friend a nigger? The answer is no.
Most times,
right?
If you gotta ask a question.
The answer is no.
You already know the answer.
No.
This is coming from a guy that's known and brags about a lot of bad decisions that I've made in my fucking life. But that's one of them that it's like, I guess I did the right thing, but I mean, I don't know. It's why does somebody have to say that word? Why is there even a discussion? Like, why can't we
privilege.
say it? Yeah, but I mean, but it's
privilege.
like
My white privilege says I have the right to say whatever I want to say, and you can't take it away from me. You heard it when they were storming the Capitol. Don't make us. You're supposed to be getting them over there. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that
racist.
woman that was crying that woman that was crying because she got maced. You know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what this shit
Were
is.
you talking about the
and they don't
Animaniacs
realize.
lady?
Yes.
The Animaniacs, this shit was hilarious.
Like they don't realize how it's all the same. All of your bullshit microaggressions, all the shit that you're saying, all of it's the same. No matter how much you tell me out your mouth that you're not racist, you follow it up with some more racist shit.
I'm not racist, but
can
I
I gave
add to what
you
Grampy was just saying?
Yeah.
I'm not racist. I love black people.
I'm going to say the most racist thing I can think of right now.
I'm not racist, but let me tell you about watermelon and chicken.
Yeah, or if you start off something like, I'm not trying to be racist, but
I'm not
pretty much the next.
Yeah, don't say it. Just shut the fuck up. Don't say it.
Just say I'm not racist and then stop. Yeah.
Grampy
You
said
should stop after
didn't
that.
Used to be a big deal to say that word. I disagree. I think it didn't used to be a big deal. Hold up, let me finish. It didn't used to be a big deal to white people, and only recently, because we finally got video of the police kicking the shit out of black people left and right. Now it's come into white consciousness. It's very similar to the fact that before this big heroin epidemic in the last 10 years.
Right.
It wasn't a big deal. When this shit was going on in the black community, nobody cared. All of a sudden, when the white kids get hooked on heroin, now it's a disease. It's not a drug anymore. Now the addiction's a disease. And you see that a lot in society, that things aren't a problem until it hits the white neighborhoods. And then all of a sudden, it's this huge problem that everybody needs to worry about.
Who's talking? I mean, I'm trying to figure out which voice and which picture. I'm not trying to...
Yeah, it was Jake Jonas.
Oh yeah, I agree. My whole thing is like when I say acceptable, right? Like I was raised,
Well, I'm not saying like you were out there going N-word. I'm not calling.
Yeah.
I'm speaking in general. I wasn't
and I learned a lot when I started like listening to people with different opinions. I don't know, people that actually got hosed down for protesting, or people that have experienced things that I haven't experienced from a different perspective, which, a lot of people, like growing up, I didn't get a lot of different perspectives from people. I got what I was shown, and that's what, like even things on TV that were acceptable, right? It whitewashed a lot of shit, and by whitewashed I meant
yeah.
But
hey,
and I did the other thing that what was it? Rev said that he doesn't dox people, or he's never doxed people. Oh my god, man!
Yeah, go back and watch the first 5 minutes of this stream, and we'll have plenty of evidence against that. But
his dope out of mind won't let him go there.
Breaking news, folks! Rev has a legally binding verbal agreement for y'all to hear.
Right.
Yeah, I just saw this. Yeah,
I haven't said anything yet. Am I bound by his agreement?
Oh, you are now.
We're gonna find out.
I want to say Jesus bless, and this is a serious situation. Okay.
Now take a toke on the bong.
Like this is really serious stuff. We're gonna do this. Okay. I don't need anything.
That's what he's doing. He's bonging.
Yeah. Oh, is that why he went blank for a while?
Yeah, he goes blank for a minute, and then he talks to himself.
Yeah, as I was. So this is a public service announcement for individuals.
Oh my God!
For all the individuals involved. Okay, this is a public service announcement from your friendly, reverend individual. There has been
what a waste of a mic.
What is clearly seen to be
color me jealous, but
in triplicate, in quadruplicate, as many duplicates as you could imagine, folks.
Fuck is he on?
Video evidence that
everything.
Even if everybody tried to, all the names involved, and these are the last times you are going to hear me mention these type of names.
Yeah.
Dragnot Silvis. Real name Alfred Mims.
There we go.
There's
Did it again.
And batting second.
Room, and all of the people involved with the Geek Room.
Well, that's the rest of the infield
They
right
are
there.
my main focus. The other folks go
Thank
with
God
God
Rev
and
has
make
finally
good
been able to
content.
focus on something.
And
Go
let's
with
just
God.
make money together. That's what I'm for. I'm a capitalist, actually.
Actually, you're a communist.
Hey, it's the wave of the future, folks. But it's not. It's
He
back
doesn't
to the
make any
future,
money. He
folks.
spends other people's money. He's a communist.
Stuff. It
Yeah,
can be.
he wasted his
We need to take
inheritance
care of
and
people
should
too,
have.
folks. Anyway, cheers. This is what you call a formal cease and desist request.
Oh, God.
This is a verbal agreement that I am entering into with individuals that know who they are. I have mentioned them.
Do we have to raise
I
our
wish
right
to
hand?
never be spoken of you by ever again. Of or by you again. All of the individuals involved with the channels known as Dragnot Silvis and the Geek Room. I am entering into a verbal agreement with you this day, today, the date being, for absolute perfect posterity's sake, is this date.
That's
It
not
is
how it works, Rev.
6:13 in my time
Yeah,
zone
in
on
agreement,
Tuesday.
the other party has
February
to
the
agree to
9th.
it too. You just don't get to dictate
Very
terms.
bougie way.
Well, he saved it
He's-
for prosperity, so it's legal now.
You get that?
He said legally binding and formal, so
Yeah,
obviously that
yeah.
makes it so.
Ah,
It's the same
damn.
thing with their. It's the same thing
What
with their
the
marriage.
fuck?
They wrote
Yeah.
down in Rev's Bible they're married and
Does
had
he
one of
know?
their kids sign it. Therefore, they're married.
Does
Well,
he
you know
know
what-
what the
when-
word agreement means?
7.5 billion people are now bound by that agreement.
Yes, everybody.
Miss
Yeah.
Parker, earlier on, Miss
Jail.
Parker, earlier on, you said something that I've been saying for a long time. Like this is they have to be trolls. This can't be real, because I watch this shit and I think to myself, they have to. These people cannot be this fucking stupid.
They are.
Because
They
you
are.
think about it and you're like, no way. But then you have to admit that reality is always stranger than fiction. And I am in love with these people. They don't think I am, but I am, because I like watching them. I got bored watching reality TV. This is so much better. I sit here like, fuck, man, I be eating chips I'm over here having a good time, smoking blunts, laughing at you. Okay,
I
this
can't
is the best show ever.
No.
It literally. I was about to say citizen. It hurts my brain
You
listening.
need some more Crown
to these
Royal.
idiots. Yeah, I know. I gotta get
Oh,
something hard.
no.
It's like, I can't believe that these people exist and live, and somehow function, being this fucking stupid.
Hey,
I'm not even
yeah.
a smart guy. I'm a moron.
Hey guys,
These people make me look like a fucking genius.
Haven't heard much from Midwest Girl Guy. You still good down there?
He's probably high, man. He looks like a pothead. You know, one of those guys.
I'm not a pothead. I just happen to grow my own weed.
Hell yeah!
I love you. Are you looking to adopt, or maybe I'd love to, like, you could be my sponsor. You could send me some stuff, and I could give you like a plug on my stream. It's a business opportunity, man. It's out there. I'm just letting you know.
I wish they'd legalize weed here.
No, I was gonna say a few minutes ago, Lady Starfire asked a question. She said, "I think as a white woman, I need to ask, how can I use my white privilege to help you?"
Yeah,
and
I love that question.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to say something about it, because it's a really good question. And in my opinion, I think that there's a few things. One is obviously listen. Like there's a lot of white people who want to talk and they want to like speak for you and be like offended for you and shit like that. But if you just sit back and listen, I mean, that shit actually goes, that's good advice in general, but in this situation is just really key to listen to what people have to say. And also you got to be able to, I would say, stand up for, like, because like it's like the best way I could put it is like if I'm in a locker room and I hear dudes talking about women like, oh, these bitches out there, they look really hot. I'd fuck this and hit that. I'd be like, come on, man, can you guys have a little bit more respect? And I say that knowing that you're gonna get ridiculed, you're gonna get, somebody might come step up to you, but it doesn't matter because if you let that kind of culture happen in front of you, then people feel like, well, ain't nobody saying anything about it, so it must be cool for me to do it in the first place. So those two things right there, I think if you stand up for people, say something when the time is right to say something, and listen to the people who are trying to tell you what the problems are, and you'll go a long way.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I'll add to that. Just be a good example, and don't look for credit.
Yeah,
those are important things too. It's the same thing with the LGBT community. Be a good example. Don't be out there looking for cred. Because hey, man, I love black people. Nobody wants to hear that. Just be a good example.
At the end of the day, if you care, if you really truly care, right, and you want to use your white privilege, I think the first thing I would do is admit that you have privilege.
Yep.
Accept the fact that you have privilege. Accept the fact that you were born a lot further in life than I was, than my brother was.
Yeah.
Than my cousin was. Accept it. Yeah. And it hurts. I know it hurts. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it makes you feel weird. I get it. It gives me the tingles too. It's a horrible thing, but accept it. After you accept your white privilege, then you go listen to some black people about why it is fucking with their life. Why it fucked with their parents' life. Okay? Use your white privilege in an awesome, positive way. You have it. You have it. Don't squander it. And that's another thing I don't like about those people. You've squandered your privilege. You literally did. He had tons of money and white skin. Do you know the things you could have done with that? Look what Donald Trump did. Okay? Get the fuck out of here. You could have did some shit. Not saying you could have been ethical about it, but you could have did some shit, and you was just sucking that life all over the place for both of you. And I don't, just.
I don't know. I kind of understood more when it was because I didn't understand that whole thing because I'm like, look, I didn't come from a rich family, nobody paid for my college and shit. But it was explained to me one time, and like I never had to worry about like walking down a street what somebody was going to think of me. Like I remember as a kid, they had to explain to us. I'm serious. They had to explain to us that because people would see like if you were walking on a sidewalk and there were a couple black people, and I knew people that do this. I just walked across the street. I didn't know what they were going to do like this. And they would explain it's like, you know what? It's okay to like walk past black people. They're not all gonna rob you. Exactly. You know what I mean? But it was almost a fear that was put into people that I never had to worry about me walking down a street and I was probably like a goofy kid or something like that, but I wasn't like a kid that as soon as they saw me they automatically thought that I must be like committing a crime. Even though I'm not saying I never did as a kid, but I wasn't the number one suspect. If there was one black kid in the neighborhood and something happened, it was the black kid.
Yeah.
It had to be.
Stereotype, and it's really sad that this is.
And if there wasn't a black kid, it had to be the Mexican.
Yes, I used to take the saying about white privilege 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I thought that white privilege was an attack on me. I took it as an attack, and it took me a while to figure out that I do have privilege over other people simply because of the shade that my skin color is. That's a given. That's reality. But people can learn.
Yeah,
it takes a while, but people can learn.
So many people think when they hear that white privilege, they go, well, what do you mean? I go to work. I work hard. I pay my taxes. I do this. I do that. They don't realize that. And I'll give you a good example. A couple years ago, I was in my city, and I was going to see my buddy who lives in the hood. He lives in the hood, but me and my friend got pulled over, and the cop was like, what are you doing here in the N-word part of town? Except he said the N-word. And I fucking wish I had it on camera because... Yeah. And so... Damn. Just just the other day, I don't know if you guys saw, but earlier this year, the police in that city, there's a guy high on PCP running naked through the streets when it was freezing rain out, and they put a spit mask on him and stepped on his throat like George Floyd, and they killed the guy. About a week ago or a week and a half ago, this black guy got arrested, and they put this 7-year-old girl, and this is my city, put a 7-year-old girl in the back of the cop car, and then fucking maced her. They told
Shout
her
out to the Rochester police.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. They could have just looked it up, but thanks. Doxing me, bro. But yeah, this is a serious problem where I live. So when people hear white privilege around here,
Oh, I'm sorry.
They go, no, you're fine, dude. Anybody could look it up.
I didn't realize I had white privilege until recently.
But just
like,
people, when they hear privilege, they think I'm not privileged. I work, I do this, I do that, like everybody else. They don't understand that it's literally, if there's two guys walking, one on each side of the street, one's white and one's black, chances are it's the black guy who gets hassled. They don't understand.
The idea of white, Caucasian white people, whatever you want to say, they take it as a personal attack because and I thought this for many years, you have the victim complex. You have the world at your feet. I'm a white guy. Look, I do any fucking thing I want. Literally. If a black person does the shit that I do, they're going to be arrested first. Listen, but it's the victimhood complex. And a lot of Christians have that same victimhood complex. And it takes a while. You have to be open-minded enough to let it, to think about things.
Do you think Christianity helps to propel that idea, or to just kind of like solidify it, or just, does Christianity give you that justification in that situation?
Because Christians feel that they're always persecuted, even though people will say, well, this is a Christian nation, and then they'll come and say, well, look how we're being persecuted. Well, if you're 99% of the population, how is the 1% of the population persecuting you? It can't be. It's impossible. And that persecution complex.
They look at the laws like, oh, we can't teach creation in school. We can't like go into office and say that all the stuff in the Bible is fact, because people are going to look at us funny if we do.
But it's
teach the controversy.
A lot of white people still think that they're being persecuted, that they can't pray in school, they can't do this, they can't do that, and I call bullshit all of it.
You just can't have organized prayers.
Yeah. You can't. You can pray anywhere you want. When you tell them that, their response is, "Well, you see, I'm being persecuted." It's like the QAnon folks. They're fucking nuts.
My biggest problem with
I'm going Miss Parker on everybody.
Biggest problem with,
proud of you, Jeff. You're doing good, man.
My biggest issue with white privilege is that it takes something like George Floyd to actually watch someone choked to death by the police for people to go, oh, I get it now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It shouldn't take that extreme
A lot of
people to
times-
understand how society is.
It's a sad fact that a lot of people, like if you think about it, like with abortion, it's always like the rich people who are against, the rich conservatives against abortion, until their daughter gets pregnant. Then all of a sudden it's the exception to the rule, and they got all these other reasons why it's okay for them to do it, but still not okay for you to do it.
Yeah, the financial burden, the stigma.
What'll the neighbors think? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What'll the neighbors think? What'll they think? What are the neighbors going to think of me as a father? Type shit. I've actually heard this girl, her father made her, or tried to get her to have one time. Over the old, what'll people think of me? It was totally about him, not the fact that his daughter was pregnant, but the fact that it might make him look bad.
Oh God! What about the? You know how many times that like the mixed racial babies here in South Mississippi, and the big thing people will say, and they still say today, well, it's not the baby's fault, but she's so cute. I'm like, God,
we undertones.
She's so
really
cute.
crazy.
It's not her fault, though.
what kills me is I feel like, do you not hear yourself when you say this? And the other ones, oh, you speak so well.
Oh, yeah.
You're not.
What am I supposed to sound?
You're very articulate for a black guy.
I've been articulate my whole life.
That's so jacked.
Hey, Midwest, I don't know if you ever heard this, but I've talked about this before. Like, I remember when, in like even as late as the 70s, maybe even a little bit later, if there was a mixed couple, right, and I knew people that would and meaning it well, if that makes sense, but saying, you know what, I feel sorry for the kids that the parents had to get married because it's going to be the kids that suffer because they're not going to get accepted by the black community because they're not black and they're not white, so they're not going to have an identity. They're not going to know who. They're not going to fit in anywhere.
God.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
In 2008. Okay, this was back in the 70s, like, because we actually knew a family and you know, but a few that were, and we were friends with them and stuff. But in 2008, I was in a line at Walmart checking out, right, sitting there standing with my mother, right, and there was this woman a couple aisles over, getting right in the checkout line, and she had this cute little baby boy or little toddler kid, eyes this fucking big, the curly hair. I mean, kid was cute as a knob. She had him dressed nice, and my mother was admiring. You say that's a cute little boy, but then she's like, well, you know, I really feel sorry for the kid though, because you know what I mean. It's the parents that are going to make him suffer like that. And I'm like, Mom, this is 2008. They pretty much isn't even a thing anymore, you know. And she looked at me because she had never noticed that. You know, she like time. With a lot of people, they get really old. Mindset. Yeah, time passes them by. It's like, well, we used to be able to say this, and you know.
Yeah, you see that a lot with older folks. When I used to be a CNA back in the 90s, some of the old, like most of the older folks were female. There was a few males, but most of the females that were in their homes were. I mean, most of the people in the nursing homes were of female persuasion, and they would always be terrified if a black healthcare worker would come in. A lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's like they didn't want them taking care of them. You know, these were like people who were like 80 and 90.
I don't have anything against them. Trust me, I like them.
They were became adults like in 1930.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
I understand systematic racism. There's a lot of layers to it. You know what I mean? Am I mad at the 82-year-old old racist dude sitting in a wheelchair with one leg talking about the South will rise again? No, I don't give a fuck about him. He's gonna be dead. I don't give two fucks about him. Okay? I'm not mad about him. What I am scared of are these 17-year-old children being raised by bigots and racists that have convinced them that they should fear and destroy anything that's not like them. That's what I'm scared of. That's why I don't like racism anymore, because it's gotten to the point now where we're all gonna suffer. This is how it happens. When we allow a small fraction of people to scare us and terrify us on a daily basis, we can't allow that.
All the stuff that you've heard about the South is pretty much true. The bad stuff. I went to Cal and Lorraine Road Baptist Church on Cal and Lorraine Road, and I was goddamn 15 at the time. We had a black couple try to join the church. True goddamn story. I can call my dad up, and they, you know, the pastor, Brother Ham was his name. He says, you know, all of those that agree say yay, and we had people said yes or yay, whatever. He also said all those against say nay or no. And people raised their hand right after that pastor started talking about the love of Jesus Christ in an entire sermon. People raised their hand and said, we don't want them black folks in this church. You've got to be out your goddamn mind.
Mormons didn't accept black people right up until what, like 20 years ago?
Yeah,
70s.
It was like 19. I think it was like 90s there, Grandpa.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah.
And people ask me, people will ask me, well, how did the atheists get to you? I said, it wasn't atheists that got to me. It was the goddamn Christians that got to me. I picked up on your bullshit and you don't like it.
That's one of the main things that upsets me about G-Man so much is that he thinks he's got it down. He thinks that him and Jesus are so freaking tight. he ain't got nothing to worry about on Judgment Day. Not a thing. He's
Well,
got his
and
chest pumped up. He's gonna walk right up to God and say, "I got this. Me and God are drinking buddies." Yeah, and then he's gonna be in for a rude surprise, man.
I still like to believe that if Jesus was real, like if God is real, in the hypothetical, I am an atheist, but if I was to fantasize about God and say he's a real entity and he's loving and he's kind,
What would he be wearing if you're fantasizing? If you were fantasizing, like you, if you said if you were fantasizing, what would he be? What?
Yeah, like my God is Idris Elba and he has like Morgan Freeman's voice. And whispers in my ear, but that'd be wonderful, right? He just like narrates everything.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I get it.
But yeah, that's my God. But at the end of the day, he would not say these things. He wouldn't want anyone to say these things. I think he would be a loving and kind God, and G-Man does not represent that. So because he doesn't even represent my best imagination of what a God could be, I can't respect what you're doing. You know what I mean? I can't even give you that.
I've actually gone to his live stream, and I would show him where all the mercy and kindness and love stuff, or some of it, where it was in the Bible, and then he would go, "But this over here says that I could be an asshole."
Exactly.
Like, what about turning the other cheek, G-Man? What about the Sermon on the Mount? What about all that? And he'd be like, but over here, that's not where I am right now. Over here, I feel like I want to get even with everybody, and I have the right to get even with people. It's like
G-Man's a cherry picker Christian. He loves to cherry pick the Bible, and when it works out for him, that's the important part. When it goes
I'm gonna find the video that G-Man did, and he actually laughed about talking about people burning in hell, and he was happy about it.
I think G-Man.
I was like, what kind of goddamn psychopath would you be? To laugh at somebody burning for eternity and eternal torment, and you're laughing about it?
As far as the judgment of God goes, if we see the judgment of God take place as a believer, like say it's happening to other people, and we're actually witnessing it, and we're supposed to be like freaking terrified and be like and awe-stricken and reverent, be like, we're not supposed to be happy about it.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be terrified for those people. We're supposed to pity them.
Who would want somebody to? I mean, the glee in his eyes and on his face, it was just, I can't wait to
G-Man's
burn in hell.
G-Man is not a for real believer.
He's just a shitty person.
He loves the idea of God. He doesn't love God. He loves the idea of God.
My dad's a Southern Baptist. He's a hardcore Southern Baptist, but he believes in smoking weed instead of drinking alcohol, and he wouldn't laugh at people wanting to go to hell. He would say, I don't want you to go to hell. He's the opposite of G-Man. He said, I want you to go to hell. Believe me.
There's a lot of
he uses the Bible as a cudgel. Yeah, he uses it as a cudgel.
Yeah, the Bible is a weapon to
anybody.
People to death.
And he wraps himself in like some kind of weird cloth. What is that shit called? The Shroud of Turin. He wraps himself in that shit.
And he knows he's wrong. Heck, he had that freaking dream. He had that freaking dream that he didn't get to go to heaven, but was left behind to be raped by gay soldiers. And one of them was taking his shit.
Yes,
there's a lot of Christians out there.
There's a rapture dream.
He's not an isolated thing.
Yeah.
If you ever hear some of the evangelicals speak, those people they don't give a shit what the Bible says. They've created their own little religion.
His actual
and they're
reason,
generally shitty people.
His actual reason for believing in the first place kind of sucks. Because his main reason for believing is the answered prayer. That's so selfish.
Oh God, I remember that.
Like, how you
get a notebook
because I asked for something and then some shit happened good to me. That must mean God thinks I'm special and fuck all the rest of y'all, and that's why he believes.
Yeah, because me and God are like
children. There's no starving Christian children. There's no
because there's no starving Christian children.
No,
they're satanic bastards. Yeah.
There's
Jesus said, "Suffer not the little children to come unto me." Whether the child is a Christian or not, is still accepted by Christ.
Well, see, but the problem is they're not Christian children, so they don't get the Christian treatment.
The Christian treatment, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like the
Check big pile of
Galaxy
crap.
Star treatment. You know, so you gotta.
What the hell
it's
did Rev mean by you people anyway?
He meant black. He meant black people.
No, he said your people. He said your people. He's talking to
No.
G-Man. Who's G-Man's
He was
people?
exactly not Christians.
No, that'd be our people. wouldn't it?
Because he's one.
It would be our
If
people.
he were talking
And
about
who
Christians,
was
he'd be
who
saying
was the
us.
only other black? Who was the only other African American person on that
What's
panel?
the only difference between those three? What's the only difference between those three? So he wouldn't say your people if he's talking about Christians. He'd say our people.
Yeah.
Because
These are
he
some
claims to
good
be one.
questions.
So
Some
we
good
know, we
motherfuckers.
Caught
know
that
what he
too.
was talking about. He can paint it up any way he wants to. We know what he was talking about.
So,
Yeah.
He's
so
a racist.
G-Man's
He's a racist.
plan. G-Man's
Yeah.
plan is to call and contact BLM.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait because I'm sending all of Shannon's
Black
shit
people
right to the
using the
BLM people
N-word?
that I know in South
No,
Mississippi.
don't. But here's the thing: don't do that. They don't need to waste their time with this
Yeah.
shit. They're doing
Right.
important work. Those are
Yeah,
civil
you're
rights activists. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, they don't try crimes. That's why I'm over here
Yeah.
laughing. Like, what you
Yes.
mean the
Yeah.
BLM? They're not
Yeah.
the FBI of black people.
They're
You
not
dumb
even-
shit.
G-Man,
That's
Yeah.
not what that is.
It's called
And- and-
BLM.
G-Man's fantasy. In G-Man's fantasy world, what he's hoping would happen is that a bunch of people from the BLM movement will go and visit with whoever is doing the offense and straighten them out somehow.
I know people from the BLM movement in South Mississippi. I've interviewed them on YouTube. I know them personally. I went to their meetings and they were like, "We out for we want justice. We don't
Yeah.
want to be shot in the street by cops."
Yeah.
Like, yep, sounds logical to me.
Seems fair.
Yeah,
Sounds like a winner here.
I don't want to be shot
It's
in the street
rough.
by cops. It's not unreasonable to assume that somebody
I'd
else-
like to drive down the street and not get pulled over because
Yep.
I'm black.
When
So,
you're-
yep, I
when you're,
can't argue with that.
When you're a self-hating gay person, or at least bi or whatever he is, because he ain't straight, but when you're a self-hating LGBT person and you're a self-hating black person, and on top of that, you add the self-hate from Christianity, where he gets that whole "we're broken, we're horrible, I'm a bad person." Really?
Yeah.
Like, that sucks that you think that way, that you're a bad person. And
Yeah, you're
and also
On beat,
because he
driving
uses a fallacious argument that if you've ever done anything bad in your life, you are labeled a bad person, which is stupid.
Forever.
Because if you do something good, does that label you a good person forever? Like, he doesn't realize that it should be the it's cumulative, the
totality.
entirety of everything that you do, and also the weight of individual acts, depending on what the individual acts are. And there's redemption. There's a bunch of factors that go into it that can round out who a person is from an ethical standpoint. But yeah, he just simplifies it as you do bad, you bad.
Yeah.
G-Man,
In
G-Man
that case,
is
I'm
Don
fucked.
Quixote. You guys, I've been pitching this idea. You guys have read Don Quixote. I know you guys all have. I
windmill guy.
know.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
reads too? My
Oh.
God, I'm really excited.
Please don't. Like, you don't even know.
I
Okay.
know. I'm just.
Isn't that the story about the crazy dude that attacked
She has
windmills
books.
'cause he thought they were
Tilting at
dragons or
windmills,
something?
absolutely. Yep.
Okay,
Oh.
I know Todd knows about. I know you guys know about that.
Dante, yep.
Dante,
Yeah, okay.
Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
Love this one, but G-Man is Don Quixote, and we are the windmills. Every atheist, we're the windmills, and he is constantly into battle. He is ready to go, and he's fighting these dragons, And I feel like that's the best illustration I can make for G-Man, and that's why I don't take him serious. You know what I mean? That's like literally seeing someone hallucinating right in front of you, and then getting mad at them for having a hallucination. Like, I don't know who the fuck you're fighting, bro.
Oh,
His
God.
logic is so insane. It's like okay. I explained this to somebody once. Like, okay, do you wake up in the morning and eat breakfast?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I
Then
tried
Then you're a Nazi. That's what Nazis do.
Do what?
Walked right into
Wait a
that
minute.
one.
Am I a Nazi
Mrs.
again?
Parker, do you drink water?
Occasionally. Yeah.
Well, Hitler did, so you're Nazi.
Well, Hitler was a vegetarian.
That's G-Man's logic. That's how
No,
G-Man's
it's more
logic
than-
works.
It's more
Yeah.
than G-Man. That girl Peanut the other night was pulling the whole,
Nice.
well, you call me racist? You're the real racist. That's I've heard.
I know I am, but what are you?
Is that the Canadian girl that says I can't be racist because I'm Canadian?
No, she talks
that's a
like
great
this.
Oh my God, that was brilliant.
Like
Can't be
Dr.
racist,
Girlfriend.
I'm
She
Canadian.
talks like this and defends
Oh.
doxers. And
Yeah, that's the one that sounds like me.
she sounds like she smokes 3 cartons of cigarettes a day.
3 cartons of unfiltered Pall Mall straights a day, people. You know what I'm saying?
Those ladies are called,
My
Rose
lung
Flair
feels
Marys.
great.
Rose Flair Marys. Like she smokes rose flares.
Yeah, she does, and she chases them with cigars.
Yeah. It's like the the mother from Rocco's Modern Life, the frog lady.
Mm-hmm. I just
Like,
think
I-
Dr. Girlfriend every time I hear her.
Dr. Girlfriend. Dr. Girlfriend.
Mhm.
I see you brought your friends over today, Joey.
Am I gonna defend the doxer? You're damn right I am.
That's nice.
Well, folks, I'm going to shut this down here in a little bit. We've gone over an hour and a half. I didn't want to do a real long stream, but thank you all so much for coming and
Thank
for
you
the
for having me on.
productive, positive, constructive conversation we had.
I'm really
Isn't that
disappointed
nice?
that Rev didn't show up. So
Well,
I'm not.
He did respond. He just said thanks, but no thanks. But I'm going to take
Thanks
us
for
out.
hosting the conversation.
You betcha.
You're the
It was
best,
my-
Todd. I
It
love
was
you.
my pleasure.
Course.
And, I'm going to take us out with something I know everybody loves.
Oh yeah, play
And,
that too.
see you guys next time.
All right.
Nice.
Now sit right down so I can tell a little tale about a man-child from Jersey, all ashy and pale. His name is G-Man and he thinks he's all that in his worn-out Goodwill shirt and that stupid Jesus hat. Well, gee, you want a challenge? A real rap battle? I spit out ancient language like a resident of Babel. But I don't need to do that, we can do it like you talk. With that in and in, on and on, a man and no school and squawk. You're the fool. You're the fool. When it comes to public speaking, G-Man really is a wannabe. Fumbling over words like anatomical, autotomy, audacity is famous, but have you heard him say vagina? I even heard him say he likes that funky cold Medina. He stole $3,000 and he gets those UTIs. He tries to debate with atheists, but just gets brutalized. Oh, that's right, he had a hard-on for Matt and Ron, but they really are not even aware that he claims to have faced him in one. You're the fool. You're the fool. When it comes to the scriptures, G-Man,
tell him why.
he throws a few at atheists trying to expose them. Well, guess what, G? Your exegesis is a joke. You're called to speak with gentleness, not lecture and provoke. So look that verse up, cause I know you don't know it. Takes an atheist like me to say you don't know Jack and show it. But even if you did, no one listens to you. With that stammering, stuttering, blathering, fluttering nonsense you spew. You're the fool. So one more verse ought to lock this up tight. G-Man wants to battle rap but brings no skills to the fight. His rhymes are stale as last week's bagels from the corner, and I've heard more musicality in Little Jack Horner. Go and cry to Shanny and your boyfriend's Von and Deckel, then come back at me, G-Man, I'm the Hyde to your Jekyll. Can't wait for your response, cause I know it will be junk. You'll be clinking it, thinking it, stinking it like a nasty old skunk. You're the fool. You're the fool.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Jesus isn't coming back to judge anybody. And when you die, that's it. It's over.
I hope you're wrong,
or
Todd.
not. I hear you, David. It's a
Oh
play
my
on his end.
Well, thanks
Thank
for
you for that.
spoiling the end, Todd.
Good night, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Peace, y'all take care.
Bye.